Welcome back to FM Storey. We're past the halfway point of season 1 of this beta save with Manchester United, and by and large things have gone pretty well. We're currently top of the table, a point clear of Man City. We've made it into the knockout rounds of Champions League, although we do have a game coming up against Paris Saint-Germain in the round of 16. We have made it to the Carabao Cup final, where we'll take on Tottenham with a chance to win the first trophy of the save. Unfortunately, we did get dumped out of the FA Cup in the third round by Cardiff City. And even more of a concern, in the last game of the last episode, Bruno Fernandes went down with a torn cruciate ligament. He's going to be out for 6 to 7 months. We've got a couple of days before the transfer window closes. Can we find someone to replace him in the team for the rest of the season? Or are we going to need to change the formation up? Without further ado, let's get into the action. So, we've made it to the final of the Carabao Cup, and to say that everything since the end of the last episode's been eventful would be a bit of an understatement. Obviously, with the injury to Bruno Fernandes in the last game of the last episode, with him being out for the rest of the season, allied to the fact that we'd already lost Garnacho for pretty much the most of the season with a broken leg, we needed to do a bit of work in the transfer window, and we only had a couple of days left, so it was a bit of a panicked situation. We did end up signing 3 players on or around deadline day. We brought in 2 players on loan from Real Madrid, and we actually signed a player from Man City as well. So the first player we brought in on loan from Real Madrid was Brahim Diaz. Really just someone who can play in that sort of front three, and a decent enough player that could potentially get into the starting lineup for the Premier League, and to sort of not have too big a drop off from losing the players that we've lost. We do have an option to sign him in the summer, but that is for more than his value, so it's probably unlikely that we'll take up the option. But if he performs well, you never know, we might end up trying to keep him around. The next player we signed on loan from Real Madrid was Arda Güler. Really just looks an outstanding player. Whether he's ready or not for the Premier League, obviously he's a bit of a, might be a bit early in his career, but at least he can provide some options for us to cover both that number 10 role and the wide right role, which is we are missing big time without Fernandes and Garnacho. And then there was a surprise on deadline day when we looked at who was transfer listed, and we found that Julian Alvarez was transfer listed by Man City. He wasn't in their plans for the future. He hadn't done an awful lot for them this season. We picked him up for 25 million with some extras involved, and by and large he's played okay. He has had a couple of knocks since he joined us. We do seem to be struggling with injuries a bit, because as well as him picking up an injury, the first game since the last episode, Marcus Rashford picked up another injury, and he's really struggling to be fit for this Carabao Cup final. In terms of performances, we started pretty well. So we went away to Wolves, weren't great in the first half, hammered them in the second half. 4 goals. Obviously, unfortunately, Marcus Rashford had his injury in that game, but a pretty comfortable victory. Then we were at home to West Ham, who hammered us between Christmas and New Year earlier on in the season. I think they beat us 3-0 away. Early penalty, 2-0 up at half time, and then Rasmus Højlund got a couple in the second half for another comfortable 4-1 victory. Home to Crystal Palace, another brace for Rasmus Højlund. Martial came off the bench, picked up 1, and ran out 3-0 victors. And then we went away to PSG in the Champions League without what has been our 3 best players probably this season, certainly attacking wise. Missing out on Garnacho, Fernandes, Rashford. Somehow we came away from the home leg only 1-0 down. We were truly atrocious for the first hour plus. They were 2-0 up. We managed to force them into an own goal. They then went 3-1 up, and then we pulled back a late consolation goal to make it 3-2. But hopefully, we're in a bit of a stronger position going into the second leg. We were then away at Tottenham in the league, and hopefully this isn't a precursor for the Carabao Cup final, because we didn't play particularly well. They got an early penalty, and not an awful lot else happened in the game. Neither side created too many chances, and unfortunately we lost 1-0. And then, talking about eventful, the most recent game, away at Liverpool, we took an early lead, and then they equalised. Then Van Dijk got sent off for falling down Hoyland and got his second yellow card as he was through on goal. Mason Mount then scored, put us 2-1 up at half time. So 2-1 up at half time against 10 men, and in the second half we got destroyed. They scored 3 goals in 4 minutes, including an absolute screamer from Alexis McAllister that hit the bar, bounced down on the line and went into the back of the net. And we weren't able to react. We were shell shocked. Hopefully we can put in a better performance in the Carabao Cup final against Tottenham. We are going to be missing Julian Alvarez for that. He is cup tied, and obviously we do have Bruno Fernandes out and Alejandro Garnacho out. On a positive, Harry Maguire can't play because he's ours. Although I don't know that he has played. He's only made 7 appearances for them since he signed on loan, and only one of them was the start. Sergio Reguilón's cup tie played for us in one of the earlier rounds, and Son is doubtful. So hopefully we can not give away a stupid penalty like we did in the league game, and hopefully we can come away with the first trophy of the save. So it's the team we're going with for the final. We've gone with Wan-Bissaka instead of Dalot at right back to tend to be a bit more secure there. We've gone with Casemiro and Mason Mount as the 2 holding players, and we've gone a 3 of Sancho, Diaz and Rashford, Hoyland. This is Rashford's first appearances on the pitch since the game against Wolves where he got in, so hopefully he come through this okay. They've done some business in the transfer window as well. I didn't notice last time. We've been signed Valentin Barkov, Boca, signed Lila Barda from Celtic. Right, hopefully we can start the game better than we did the league game against them. We gave them a stupid penalty early on. They're going with a 4-3-3. We're going 4-2-3-1. Right, Wan-Bissaka with throw, Sancho, Mount, Rashford. I think he was. Oh, he wasn't offside. I thought the referee, thought the linesman put his flag up there. That is exactly the start we wanted. The exact opposite of what happened in the league game. Just comes into Mount, just hits it the outside of his right foot. I think that was probably a shot, and Rashford was in the right place just to divert it home. Shaw, Raheem Diaz back to Rafa Varane. Shaw in space on this left hand side. Can he play it down the line to Rashford? Can. Into the box. Oh! Forces the keeper into a save. We are a much better team, a much different team with Rashford playing off that left hand side. Shaw to take the corner. Swings it in. Casemiro heads it wide. Should be hitting the target. And then Sessignon. Barco playing as an inverted wing back on that left hand side, then coming into the midfield, skips in the box, hit the post, and he stuck the rebound for him. That was far too easy the way they got in behind there. Shaw just left him. That's not good at all. Shaw into Mount. Varane. Rashford, Shaw. Into Team Diaz, but it goes through to and then back to the keeper, who, oh my god. Thank you. Just what we needed after conceding that equaliser. what on earth was he doing? Shaw plays it in looking for Raheem. Defenders block him off. And defender plays it back to him. Does he just not see him? Oh my God. And there we are, half time. I think we probably deserve to go in front. We've created the most chances. We've dominated the chances. We gave them a stupid goal by not tracking a runner. They gave us an even more stupid goal by the goalkeeper just letting himself get tackled on his own goal line. Now we just need to make sure we don't do anything stupid in the second half. Luke Shaw and Casemiro were struggling fitness-wise, so we've brought on Martinez at a left back, brought on Amrabat into the holding midfield role. They've got to throw Kulusevski into Abada. Rashford wins it back in their box. Varane to Onana don't do what they did. Oh my God. Thank God we were covering. Neither of these goalkeepers would fill me with a whole lot of confidence. And there we go. Come away with the Carabao Cup. We've won a trophy. It is the one trophy that the board weren't that bothered whether we did anything in or not. But we've picked up a trophy. We've matched what Erik ten Hag did. Man United last season. We're still in the Champions League, but we've got a 1-goal deficit to overturn, and we're comfortably in the top 4 at the moment. We just need to improve the form in the league after those 2 last defeats. But we've picked up a trophy, and I think that would probably be classed as a success for season 1. As long as we do qualify for the Champions League for next season. We're now approaching the end of March and getting to the business point of the league season. As you can see from the table, we're currently starting second, 6 points behind Man City, a point ahead of Liverpool, but they've got a game in hand on us. And we're 2 points clear of Arsenal and 3 points clear of Tottenham. So it looks as though Man City may be out of reach as far as the title's concerned, although there is still 8 games left for them and 9 for Liverpool. It does look like the top 4 is going to come right down to the wire. Like us, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs all within 3 points. Newcastle probably a bit too far back to finish in the top 4, but there's going to be some pressure coming on. Since the Carabao Cup, we've not really performed particularly well. First one was a home game against Arsenal, which, given where we both are on the table, wasn't too bad a result. Kept them behind us in the league. We created loads of chances, just couldn't take them. They basically didn't attack the whole game. I think they had 3 shots, 1 on target in the whole game. We then went away to PSG in the second leg of the Champions League, looking to overturn that 1-goal deficit. Really, they had a load of chances, didn't take any. We struggled to create any chances at all. And even with throwing everyone forward at the end, couldn't come away with anything. So we went out 3-2 on aggregate there. We then went away to Luton and somehow required an equaliser in the last 5 minutes from Arda Güler to rescue a draw. That's 2 games against Luton this season, 2 1-1 draws. Really not anything that's particularly good enough. But then we have bounced back slightly with a home game against Sheffield United. Mark Rashford for Arda, the other one. We did let them back into the game. They got a couple of goals in quick succession later on, but that was after we'd taken off a load of players and brought a load of players on. So came away with a comfortable 5-2 victory, and we just now need, as far as the games we've got left, we're not really playing anyone that's up in the top 4 challenging with us. So we just need to pick up results where we're expected to. Obviously, we've got Chelsea coming up next away, which will be a bit of a difficult game, although we did have a pretty comfortable victory over them at home earlier on in the season. Obviously, Aston Villa and Brighton are probably going to be difficult games as well, but hopefully we can pick up some points at home and try and secure this top 4 spot. But really, the focus now is this Chelsea game. This is the side we're going into the game against Chelsea. It's the same side that started the last game against Sheffield United. Højlund has picked up an injury in the previous game, so wasn't fit. So we went with Alvarez through the middle, Brahim Diaz in behind him with Arda and Rashford wide. and it seemed to work. So we're going with the same thing again. Wan-Bissaka back from injury, so he's on the bench. There is a small chance that we might have Garnacho back before the end of the season, but probably not something we want to rush him back from. And again, I feel like in the first game against Chelsea, when we beat them 3-0 at home, we might be able to take advantage of the positioning around Thiago Silva. So hopefully we can add him some pace, see if we can do the same again. Very, very little happening early on in the game. Nothing in the first 10 minutes. We've had both sides have had one shot, but neither of them are on target. Rashford with a free kick. Antonio Silva at the back post. Powers a header, backed from where it came from, across the keeper, and that's us 1-0 up. Plays it to the back post, gets above his man, heads it back from where it came from, gave the keeper no chance. Now, having had no highlights, we've had the goal, and now we've seen the kick-off as well, so they're going to get straight back into it, or are we going to nick the ball off them? Chilwell playing as the inverted wing back, pushing up the midfield there. Martinez puts it out at the back. Luke Shaw on the left side, rolls it down the line for Rashford, who moves it on for Raheem Diaz. And he loses it out to Enzo. And they're back again. Dalot puts that one out. Arda goes past Chilwell like he wasn't there, into the box. Can he square it? Pulls it back. And Rashford makes it 2-0. And 2 goals in quick succession. Got us in a really strong position in this game. Dalot puts that crossfield ball out. Arda goes past Chilwell like he isn't there. Draws the defender across, gets to the byline, pulls it back. And Rashford taps it home 4 yards out. And there we are. A really quiet first half until we came to life with 2 goals in 2 minutes there. Really strong position. We do have some players that are struggling a bit fitness-wise, so we might need to make a couple of changes at half-time, but we're in a really strong position going into the rest of this game. Right, so we made 2 changes at half-time. We brought Amrabat on for Casemiro, and we've dropped Alvarez back into the number 10 role and brought on Højlund up front, take Diaz off to knock. Rashford into the box, shot deflected, comes out to Mount. Martinez at the back for us. Plays it out to Shaw, onto Rashford. Spreads it right with Dalot in acres of space. Got loads of room to run into. And then Sterling's pulled him back. I think that's probably outside the box. Checking for a penalty, but surely it's not. Yeah, it was never going to be a penalty. Dalot's eventually got up. Arda is going to take this free kick, I would think, from the right hand side. Going to bend it into the far post, I would imagine. Shaw gets his head to Antonio Silva, to Julian Alvarez. What a finish. It's his first goal since we've signed him. Gula just plays it up to the far post. Chilwell gets his head to it. Silva keeps it alive. And Alvarez on the volley smashes it past Petrovic in goal. Right, free kick from Kunku. Hits the wall. Comes out to Broja. Plays it back to Chalobah on the edge of the box. And his shot goes over the top. Right, Madueke to Sterling. Madueke goes down the outside. Shaw puts in a tackle, but it comes back to Madueke. Pulls it back to Kunku into the box, and that's a pretty decent finish. Hopefully it's too late for them to trouble us here. Once it comes to Kunku, where he gets it, once he gets past that first man, no one can really dive in or anything. Fires it across one hand. Madueke into Kunku. Alvarez picks it off. Martial bring it forward. It's crowded out of it. Put over the top of Nicholas Jackson, and surely that was offside. I mean, it's horrible goalkeeping either way. Surely that was offside. Yeah. Marshall got crowded out and a good couple of yards offside. Jackson, decent finish, and there we have it. Full time. In the end, a pretty comfortable 3-1 victory. Good result as well, because I saw right on the other results that had happened earlier on in the day. Liverpool had beaten Arsenal, so it's a really good race, a really good result in terms of trying to secure that top 4 position. We've got 7 games left in the season now. Hopefully we can finish in the top 4, deliver the Champions League place that was expected of us, having already won the Carabao Cup. I think that would be a successful first season. And there we have it, the end of another episode. Pretty successful one. We've picked up the first trophy of the save with the Carabao Cup, and we're in a pretty strong position to finish the top 4. Join us next time to see the end of season 1, see if we can live up to that expectation of qualifying for the Champions League. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.